Hey everybody, welcome to the Dead Tree Podcast tonight. I got my little Dustin with me. He's pretty slick, ain't he, Casey? He's
pretty cool, man.
Russian devil here.
You know why I'm so blessed to have my action figure on the Legends microphone.
Gotta do what I gotta do, man. So this week in Walking Dead news, what we got going on, Mr. Baker?
Well, you have to give me just a minute to pull up everything. We have some technical difficulties, but the one thing I will share right now for those of you who are planning a trip to Sonoy in the next upcoming week, I hear there's a lot of filming going on, especially a lot of good sightings with Jeffrey Dean Morgan, Negan himself. We get a lot of fan feedback on that. A lot of big things happening. People getting very good sightings, very good photos. We've had some of those contributed already to the show that we'll be posting. But right now, that's all I've got to tell anybody because I am still playing. So you gentlemen go ahead and start while I figure everything out right here.
No problem. How's it going this week, Casey? How's your neck of the woods down there?
That's going good. Not too bad down here, you know.
I hear you. You're in.
Yeah.
He's in Zombieland country. That's where they filmed the last scene of Zombieland down there in part 1.
Yep.
Yep.
Down at Wild Adventures.
I got you.
In the amusement park here, did we talk about that? The amusement park. Is the park still open down there for that?
Is it a what?
Is the park still open? Is that still an active theme park?
No, it's COVID. It's definitely shut down to the season. Yeah.
That ain't no fun, man. They shut everything.
It's just not active right now.
Right. It's normally open. Correct. Right. It's just because of COVID they had to shut down. I think they're going to honor everybody's 2019 or 2020 passes next year if you had renewed. So
that's cool. Yeah. Hey, Chris Tillman's in here. What's going on, Chris? What's going on, Terry Wade? How y'all doing tonight? Yeah, big Mr. Abraham himself.
Oh, nice.
We need to get Chris a special episode and get him on here one week so that way he can talk about his shop and talk about who he is and how he got into this. So, Mr. Chris, I would like to call you out and tell you that I would love to have you on the show. So we need to get that scheduled, Mr. Jimmy, if that's okay with you and Casey.
I'm cool with him. Was he the one taking the pictures at the dead camp?
I was getting to I'm good now. I got all my technical.
That's some feedback. Was he the one taking the pictures at the dead camp?
Yep. Yeah, he was.
Yeah, he did a good job.
Yeah, Chris is awesome. If he wants to be on here tonight, man, I can hit him up with a link. I just need everything him to tell me it's okay to do.
Well, I mean,
it's all good.
Absolutely. If he wants to come in tonight, it would be a good night because we had one of our guests that was unfortunately unable to make it, but that's okay. But now, guys, kind of going back there for a second with you Walking Dead news. Let me start. Let me start with this, Jimmy. Tell me, have we started Fear the Walking Dead yet?
I did. I started the first season. I went through episode 1 of the second season. I have started. Okay. I'm trying, and I'm holding on for dear life right now.
So it's going to get better. Start it over. It's going to get better because here's the one thing I want to talk about a little bit.
Gotcha,
we kind of hit on this last week, how everything's kind of tying in. But this week on Fear the Walking Dead, Negan got mentioned.
Whoa.
So that was epic. I enjoyed that. I actually got a little wet spot behind my ears from it, maybe other places, when I heard it. Mr. White, he was reunited with his wife, and he come in, and they were talking, and they were having this little power struggle. I'm not going to ruin anything for you guys spoiler-wise, but they were kind of having a conversation back and forth. and the wife, Sherry, she wasn't acting the way I felt she should be acting, and he was calling her out. And he was like, "Hey, this is all because of Negan, isn't it?" And I was just like, "Did he really just say this is because of Negan?" That's fucking awesome. I'll say it.
Okay, that's really cool.
So yeah, I had to rewind it. And I watched it like 4 times. Right? It's like Negan has now made a soft appearance in Fear of the Walking Dead, which I love. So
That's cool.
Yeah, that's kind of the big thing that I've got, here. There wasn't a lot of new news this week. Basically the only thing that has come up with some of the titles on the World Beyond and things, there's a big discussion going on in some of the forums and Reddit pages about certain people now having immunity to the zombie virus. I've read some things. I don't consider anything great resources for me to even regurgitate to you guys, but that's one of the things that we've got. It's kind of neat. I mean, there was a theory that Rick was immune back in the beginning. Technically, did Rick die at the hospital? There was a big study. This guy on YouTube talked about how he actually flatlined, and you could see it when the power and stuff was going on. Soldiers were coming in. Was Rick immune? That's something they're talking about now. But like I said, nothing credible. So, that's really about it so far on the Walking Dead news. I'm going to look for today's post to make sure I haven't missed anything.
Hey, Miss Victoria Baker. Hey, Christy Stanford. How y'all doing tonight? So, what are the plans? What do y'all think they're filming in Sonoya right now? What do y'all think? Speculate that word. Yeah, there you go. After I get there stuttering, we can figure it out.
Speculate.
Yeah, speculate what's going on in Sonoya.
What's going on? I'm gonna let Casey go first because I'm long-winded, and I don't know what I'll tell you. In case you may not know what's going on down there.
Right? Yeah, I don't. I mean, I know. I think I know some behind-the-scenes stuff, but yeah, as far as what it could be, I mean, I don't know. Without knowing the little tidbits I do know from behind the scenes, can't give away my sources, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's pretty cool that they are filming there again. So, is it Alexandria we're talking or what? What are we?
I don't know the specifics of it, but they are filming down there around Jen Street and Pineland Street. So like that where the connects at, there's a house that the studio bought a long time ago. And they actually got it set up, and there's pictures and everything on our Facebook page if you want to go check that out. We have fans that send us pictures, and I went out there myself and took my own pictures. And what I seen was that night, you could clearly hear Negan talking. When you walked out there, and if you go back in that Facebook Live I did because I was waiting for my dinner that night and didn't even think about going there and watching filming. And I got on the gazebo and I started talking to everybody, and I walked down the street and kind of just went and done my thing, and I snuck up on film and didn't even know they were doing it. So
that's crazy.
It was pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Chris, as soon as you get ready to go, let me know. I'll send that over to you, okay, buddy? And send us the logo, and we'll put your logo on it there as well, okay, buddy?
And still, Chris, we're going to give you a whole episode when and you might cover everything tonight. I don't know, but we're going to love having you on anytime. Here's what I've got. Of course, I'm jealous. I'm jealous as hell, Jimmy, that I can't drive down the street.
No doubt.
So I hate you for that, but I love you. The next time you're going to tease me and Casey and the listeners, you're going to go live in the middle of Sonoy.
Actually, to be totally honest about it.
Turn the damn camera around. Look at Alexandria. Walk us down the street or something, okay? Go
a live tour.
Give us a live something, okay? I mean, look, how many podcasts can go live from the filming of The Walking Dead?
I know, right?
You drop all of that. We love you.
I agree.
Behind the scenes, but it's good. So we expect that this week, okay?
No doubt.
What I've got, though, this is what I've heard, even though I'm not down there. I have got people asking us, hey, what's all this going on with Negan? Negan's being featured. We've saw Negan come out and do this. We've saw Negan do that. We saw him walking around, blah, blah, blah. Guys, we do get a little bit of intel. We're not going to share that, unfortunately, because we only want to share things with you that we know are factual. We're not, here to give spoilers or to ruin the show or any, anticipation for any of you fans. But what I can tell you is that Negan right now is being really focused on. Okay. Mm-hmm. And I think it has to do with the backstory. Okay. I think, because, they were talking about that. Blah, blah, blah. We do get a little bit of intel. We're not going to share that, unfortunately, because we only want to share things with you that we know are factual. We're not, spoilers or to ruin the show.
We get feedback.
Yeah, a little feedback.
I think he's in now. He's good. No feedback anymore.
We're about to put him on the screen and we'll be good to go.
I can see him. Can you all see him?
Not yet. He's not on the screen quite yet. We can see him, but nobody else can. Give us 1 second, Chris.
I'm getting to look at his pretty face already.
Oh, no. We're looking at the preview. Yeah, he's right.
Yeah. Just give him a minute. Kevin's got to get him up there, guys. Give us 2 or 3 seconds.
There's no rush, guys.
There he goes. How you doing, Mr. Chris?
Hey. How you doing, guys?
Welcome.
Hey, welcome.
The living legend, German Abraham.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Really.
We talk about you, and I'm going to start with this story. We're going to get into a lot of questions with you and give you your time, and I'm not just saying this because I love you, okay?
You just need to check your text messages.
I agree. I totally agree. Call his ass out. So
but totally honest to God, true story, not lying. First starting to come down, Sonoy, right after you get there and stuff. You're walking around downtown. In my mind, in that moment, I was like, damn, I can just come down to Georgia and Abraham just gonna be walking down the street. You know what I'm saying? I had to stop and do a double take. And finally, when I crossed the third person, I was like, how come he just walking around in his costume and an outfit or wardrobe out here? How's this going to be? Is this just what? Where's Daryl at? He walking? Is he down here getting coffee? But it was you. But I like you, Abraham. You're our German Abraham, and we love you. And you know what? Thank you for everything that you do for the show. Thank you for who you are. Thank you for giving the fans what you do.
I do nothing, buddy. I do nothing.
Yeah, it's a soft introduction because I already know that Chris is going to be humble because he's one of the most humble people you'll ever meet. Let me go ahead and give you a soft introduction for the fans that don't know. The guys of you that don't know Chris Twellman, he is who we call German Abraham. He, by far, is one of the closest looking people I've ever saw to Michael Cutlass. I think he could be his twin brother in some of the pictures I see. I have to do a double take. Chris runs a very successful shop down in Sonoy, Georgia. Guys, he has so much stuff. There's artwork, there's ornaments, there's jewelry, the shirts that he makes, just so much that I can go on and on and on. If you need anything Walking Dead related, you can go in there and visit his shop. He ships. Just some of the stuff that I've saw, some of the shirts that I have. I've got one shirt he custom made for me. And I've had so many people like, man, where did you get that? And I'm planning the trip to Georgia, but you got to go see Chris. But please do understand this guy is very important to the Walking Dead community. He's a fixture now in Sonoy as far as I'm concerned, and he does so much for the fans. He was up at the camp recently doing our photo ops. That's another awesome experience you guys can get. Photo ops with Chris is by far one of the best Walking Dead experiences that you'll ever have. The background, the poses, the way that he gets you kind of just all honed into it. It's an awesome experience. And please do, those of you that are planning a trip or coming back down this May for the camp and you haven't been there, look me up. I'll personally take you. But he's phenomenal. So I hope that is a good introduction. I hope it's worthy. I'm sorry. I hope I didn't leave that.
I feel like you want to marry me or something like that.
I can do that.
I think so too. He was talking about biting nuts last week. I'm just saying that's perfect.
You're way
too. I have the best argument. I mean, just read it.
There you go. There you go.
Getting excited and stuff like that.
I think he's got a man crush.
Yeah, no. But yeah, I guess, guys, I'll let you, since I've kind of been running my mouth the first part of the show, I'll let you just kind of start off with Chris and kind of maybe ask him some background questions and how he got to where he is and who he is and all this, because your story, man, is phenomenal. And,
come on. It's just a normal little story. That's it.
Yeah, I got to check that out when I get down there.
Well, I mean, it's not normal about it, man. You come over from another country, not knowing what to expect, and come over here and just kind of do what you did. That's an awesome story, man. It's kind of an American-made story, and you had no idea all this stuff was going to happen. Yeah, man, it was cool, man.
The fun part is Dustin knows the entire story, but we don't talk about it.
Right.
Hey,
I had a photo op with Jerry Cooper Andrews. So yeah, that was amazing. That was a good photo op, even with COVID. Yeah, everything was well placed, and that was still a cool experience. So thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. So go ahead with the parts of the story that everybody can know. Tell us.
I just tried to figure this out here, how it works, because all the pictures are freezing here.
You're still good on our side. You're still making movement.
You look fantastic over here, boss.
Yeah, it's coming in through. Can hear you clear.
But
I can hear you perfect. But Dustin and Casey, when you talked about Casey, I was thinking about Oscar's wife. That was even funny.
There's actually things that I've meant to send to Casey, man to man, that may have got to Oscar's wife. Oscar, I'm sorry. I apologize. I put both on my phone at the same time. It is.
Sorry, Casey. I'm talking about Oscar's wife. Sorry, Casey. I know you don't have so much hair in your face. So
no, that's okay.
But
she's great. She's great.
Yep, absolutely.
Tell us, Mr. Chris. Tell us how you got into this. How did Chris Twellman turn into the German Abraham and end up in Sonora, Georgia?
It was kind of a funny story. I mean, I told this story I think 2 million times, but it was really funny. I worked for a law firm in Germany as a marketing guy. I was on the Canary Islands, pretty nice spot. It's like Florida without the humidity, so it's pretty neat. And somebody posted a picture of Cutlitz and a picture of me in the biggest German fan group, and somebody wrote, "We have our own Abraham." And I never watched the show before, so I said, "Who the I can say it. Who the is Abraham?" So I knew Cutlitz from other TV shows, like Band of Brothers or Thousand, or the movie The Negotiator, what was pretty good. And so I researched a little bit. And I did a photo shoot in Germany with a friend of mine. We posted these pictures, and that went viral. So it went bigger and bigger and bigger. And then I went to London to Walker Stalker Con, my first really big convention besides the German Comic Con. And a few people from this con, it's a big German Walking Dead cosplay group. They convinced me to dress up and do all this kind of stuff. So I did it. And then I went to London, got in contact with Michael on Twitter. He followed me on Twitter. So I had my first conversation with Cutlitz on Twitter. And I went to London. Awesome. And the guys from the convention center, Monique Lawless, she was responsible for all the celebrity guys. She called me and said, "Chris, do me a favor, don't go to the main entrance." Because the British friends were kind of crazy that weekend. It was the first Walker Stalker in London, so they saw all the actors the first time. And so I went.
I got to stop you there. How many times were you mistaken for Michael Cutlitz, Abraham?
During this time, not so often. Because I still had my normal blonde hair, my mustache was a little, my beard was a little bit different, so not as much.
I got you. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And so I went to London, got the call from the convention, from Walker Stalker, from Monique, and she said, "Hey, come to the host hotel. We bring you to the back entrance." And I was walking around in my private clothes, not in cosplay, because I didn't expect anything. And I stepped out of my taxi in front of the host hotel, and there were a lot of fans, and everybody started screaming. So the security guys took me in and brought me to the back entrance from the hotel, put me in a shuttle, and brought me to the convention center. But in the shuttle was Sean Clark and Sonequa.
Okay.
And I didn't recognize them because I barely watched the show until then. So it was even funnier because they didn't talk to me; they were just smiling. And then I went. They brought me to the back entrance from the convention center, and brought me right in the convention center in the green room.
No way.
So I said, guys, I'm a normal guy. I just look like one of the guys. So what I'm supposed to do here? And they said, hey, Chris, if you need a getaway, you have always access to the green room on this convention.
That is awesome.
That is
So it was
awesome.
kind of funny. And the only guy who was in the green room during that time, I was there pretty early, was the governor. And he looked at me, introduced himself, and he just started laughing. So it was kind of funny. And a few minutes later, I just walked out and stand on the balcony in this convention center. I don't know how you, I don't know if you guys know how the convention center in London looks like. There was a huge balcony here, and I was standing on top of it and was looking towards Michael's booth, and he was already there, and he saw me and waved to me like, "Hey, come down here." So I walked down, went to him, and he had a long line already of volunteers and was signing autographs. And he stopped signing autographs, came to me, gave me a hug, and it was weird. It was so funny with all the volunteers because nobody knew me during that time. They were all kind of confused. It was funny to see the faces. And there's a link, a YouTube link. There was a YouTuber from Germany. He did a video of me. And you see a few scenes where I have like 200-300 people around me just to take photos. It was crazy.
Wow.
Well, that's awesome. I like how I asked him how many people mistaked him, and it was like, oh, not many. And then now we're talking 200 to 300, and he gets out of the people are bum rushed him like the Rolling Stones or something like that. But yeah,
Crazy.
again, he's humble, guys, and you know.
Yeah, one of the funniest moments was I was sitting in the Sonoy Cafe down at the corner in Sonoy. I don't know, Casey, have you been in Sonoy before?
Yes.
Okay.
I know what you're talking about.
So yeah, he looks so much like Jerry. I mean,
Yeah,
Thank you.
Yeah, it's our own Jerry. Yep, exactly.
I like nobody, but I'm holding out for another winter episode where maybe they have a zombie Santa Claus.
And to be honest with you, Chris, he could very well come up there and take pictures for you if you want him to. Just saying.
that would be kind of funny. I mean, it looked like he had the belly.
Yeah.
You know, this is not to interrupt your story, but last when we did the camp, Casey, the Oscars Casey, and I were riding around looking for Cooper, Jerry, and we couldn't find him. Okay, and because he was just now arriving, and so we drove around like 20 times, and finally we roll up on it, and I see the backside of this Casey, and I'm like, well, that he walked in here. So I'm hopping out of the car, you know, got guns and everything. Man, he needs security around. I run up and it's Casey, and I'm like, oh, wrong guy. Sorry. I caught the side of his face.
Yeah.
You know.
That's kind of funny. No, but what I wanted to say, one of the funniest moments was like I think end of 2017, we were sitting outside of the Sonoy Cafe, and it was after Abraham's death scene. We were sitting outside having a coffee, like coffee junkie, and a car passed us with open windows, and I heard a young boy's voice like yelling out of the car, "Suck my nuts!" It was hilarious. It was hilarious.
Stay at home that day. I told Jimmy to stay at home. But
it only happens every 3 or 4 days. They get the guys together. It's all good though.
Right? No, it was really hilarious. But that people mistake me for Michael. It happens every day. I mean, when they are coming in the shop, I see all these confused faces.
Yeah, and they come down to Harrelson and they're like, "We just seen Abraham." I'm like, "Of course you did. It's cool. Don't worry about it."
Yeah,
I just go along with it. Don't even hurt their feelings. I'm like, "Okay, it's cool."
I mean, it could be worse. I could look like Biden. I mean.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty bad. I didn't say that, but whatever.
We're all good. Hey, I had this true story. I didn't get to tell you this, Chris. I had a lady at the camp, and she came up and she put me on the shoulder, and she was like, "You're the security people." I'm like, "Well, yeah." She's like, who do I complain to?" I said, "What do you mean? What happened?" Or she's like, "You all didn't put on the website that Abraham was going to be here." Okay, and she's like, "I don't have a photo op," and I'm like, "Okay." And I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, what is this lady? And then I'm looking out, I'm double checking myself, and I'm looking at my list of actors, and I'm like, okay, the head of security doesn't know that somebody's not here, but they are here. I don't get the memo. And then all of a sudden it clicks. And I was like, oh. I said, where was he standing at? Well, he's just hanging out down there in photo ops. He's taking pictures for people. I mean, you know. I said, well, do you have a photo op with other people? She's like, well, yeah. I said, well, at least, you know, Abraham used to take your picture with somebody else. Well, I want a picture with him. I said, I'm sure if you ask really nicely, he might take a picture with you. And I don't know if this lady ever figured it out or not. I felt really bad because I got distracted and didn't get to tell her, but I just didn't have the heart to tell her no different. So even then at the camp, this lady was emotionally distraught. She made a photo op.
Oh Lord.
I get a kick out of just sending people downstairs. I'm like, just go down there and see what's going on, and they come back. Oh my God! I'm like, yeah, I know. It's all good.
That's why I usually say in my shop I can make girls say "Oh my God" without touching them. I mean,
that's talent. That's talent right there, boy.
Right?
Yeah.
So where is the shop? I'm familiar with Sonoy.
Okay,
Where's
when have you been in Sonoy last time?
Oh, for the dead camp.
I haven't seen you. I mean, you are not really small, so.
Yeah, you took my picture with Cooper.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I took
No.
pictures, so sorry.
Oh, you took a ton, I'm sure.
You know where the Woodbury shop is now in the basement?
Yes.
I'm right next to it. The old Waking Dead Cafe is my shop downstairs.
Okay. I've been down there. That's where I did a photo op with Scott Wilson.
Okay, that's exactly my shop now.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So I opened that one in 2017. I mean, Dustin knows the shop. It changed a little bit from the first day to now.
Mm-hmm.
Because I did it the old-fashioned way. So I just opened it. It was barely equipped. I didn't have a lot of paintings in there. I had just a little rack with a few T-shirts and my photo op booth, and that was it. But it looks a little bit different now.
Nice. I'll be sure to check it out next time I'm up there.
Tell us a little bit and tell the listeners, because we're getting some private messages here, like what all's in his shop, and oh my God, he looks just like Abraham, and they're going nuts here.
I barely can read it. As you see, I already wear glasses, but I can barely read it. What's here on the screen? So
yeah, we got Holly. Holly said hello. Danielle Caldwell said, "What's up, fam?" Amber Fox said hello. Scott
on
said
there.
hello. Oh, yeah.
Isn't she one of
Absolutely.
for the hospital?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, I recognize that name.
Officer Bella from The Walking Dead, for one of our favorite guests.
How cool is that?
Phenomenal person, phenomenal. But yeah, Chris, tell some of the listeners, because they're asking tell them about your shop and what all you offer down there and what you do, and if they're not in Sonoy,
they are viewing as well. What do I do? I mean, I'm probably the rudest shop owner in Sonoy. I'm cussing at all my customers usually.
They love it.
So I just stay in character. The fun thing is I don't have to act. It's just me. So it's kind of funny. What do I do in my shop? I mean, I started just with photo ops. In February 2017, I got the opportunity to do photo ops besides conventions. What I want to say. I did photo ops in the museum. Mm-hmm. Scott Tigelot, the owner, he said, "Hey, Chris, you can do your photo ops down in the museum."
Cool.
So I started there, and it worked pretty well. And then I talked to him, and he said, "Hey, if you want to rent the shop, you can have it." So I set up 3 different photo booths in the shop. I started for one convention just making a few black T-shirts with my logo on it, and then it went a little bit further. So I have my own T-shirt collection now, with like 1,000 different designs. I usually every shirt is one of a kind, even if I use the same stencils or if I use the same prints, because of the bleach, it looks different. So every shirt is one of a kind, and I started in 2018 with painting again. Just painted a few Walking Dead characters. I painted until 20. Then I joined the army and worked like my normal life. So there wasn't a lot of time. And I had a few artists. I mean, Oscar is in my shop. Harry Bruno is in my shop. The black and white guy, Robin, was in my shop.
Oh, yeah. His stuff's great.
And yep. And so Now I have mostly my paintings, Terry's, then Zuki Martenson's.
Okay.
Her paintings are in my shop, and since in the last 1.5 or 2 years, I made like 150 paintings. So
Wow,
it's not only Walking Dead, it's Walking Dead based. It started with Walking Dead, but now I have like my Star Wars paintings, Marvel, some horror stuff.
Nice.
It's cool, man.
It's kind of fun, and I'm really surprised that people buy my stuff. I mean, I think Dustin, you have a few paintings yourself, right?
Oh yeah, I do. I have a picture.
I never expected when I started with this
Well,
stuff. I expect people would buy.
Speaking of somebody that's here locally, man, I'll be honest with you, people just love you, and it's more or less, we're here to support you, and I think that's what it is. I mean, we truly do love you as a fan base, and I don't.
Hey, buddy, Jimmy, Jimmy.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
You already get a discount, so it's
I
You don't have to butter them up.
I'm not trying to get a discount, but I mean, truly, if you look on the board, man, everybody loves you, and that's part of them giving back to you. They're going to support you no matter what, man, because we do love you as a fan base. The whole fan base loves you.
think I can run for Congress?
I mean, you might be able to become mayor of Sonoya in your Abraham outfit. It might happen.
No. That Perman is a perfect mayor. Nope, not me.
Hey.
Problem is,
the website has a question. Victoria Barker was asking, "Do you have a website?" And I was wondering that myself. Do you have a website or a Facebook page?
I don't have all my paintings. Yeah, Facebook page. It's facebook.com /TWD Abraham. And my personal page is Chris Tolman.
Cool. We'll share that out on the website.
Oh, you're so kind.
Yes, sir.
You get some apple pie.
Tell everybody the name of your shop. That way, when they come into Sonoya, they can look for you.
It's Abraham's Army.
Abraham's Army. You do have the awesome truck too, right?
Right? Yeah. Well, I'm getting a new one soon, so I'm working on something.
That's pretty awesome, man. You already get that thing
I do
wrapped
the
up.
photos, whatever they want besides the library scene.
He and I are going to interact the library scene one day.
I mean, Dustin and Chris can go at it for the library scene. I don't know what y'all plan to do. I guess I could be Eugene. I guess.
I'm going to be Eugene.
I could look through the books. I guess
I need a table and a shelf with some books.
There you go. I'll peer through there. What are you going to be, Jason?
Maybe I'll be the dolphin.
Dustin, just do me a favor and shave yourself.
Yeah, he's going to, or Dustin's going to be Rosita.
Like dolphin smooth.
I have no comment.
You don't want to throw yourself in there as Rosita. I'm just saying. I just kind of picked it up.
Yeah, I'm muting myself at the moment. I'm going to respond to some of the fans here. So, and I always have these, and Jimmy likes to laugh at me, but I always have these certain questions for guests because, like you, when you got into this, Chris, I don't think that you envisioned becoming a Walking Dead fan and then saying, oh, okay, all of a sudden I'm going to move to Georgia and do all this. It probably never entered your mind.
I was living in a super nice condo on the Canary Islands with a walk to the beach within 1 minute. And now I live in Noonan, Georgia, but work in Sonoy, Georgia. So it's a little different.
You moved here because of the show and things and everything, and I think that's awesome because I myself have been trying to move to Georgia now for 7-8 years. But tell me, is there? And I don't mean to put you on the spot, but you're a surprise guest for the night. Tell me, is there a Walking Dead scene? Is there a moment in the show that was just impactful to you? That was just like, wow. Every time I see this scene, I get butterflies. It can be somebody's death. It can be a happy moment, whatever you want it to be. But is there like one scene that just really captures you as a fan?
Good question. Yeah, Casey, I just approved it. Good question. I was never. This is hard to describe. I was never ever a huge fan, like this typical fandom of the show. You know what I mean? I like a show. I'm a huge fan quote, of Big Bang Theory. Um, um, I'm pretty interested in American politics. What is kind of like The Walking Dead, especially now.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt.
but I mean, I'm pretty sure the scene which had the most impact of on my life right now was Abraham's last scene. Because afterwards it went kind of crazy. This scene, just my opinion. I don't know how it is for Michael. I never talked about him about this, but it was probably. I mean, Herschel's death was bad, but like pretty impressive. But with this cliffhanger over a few months,
Yeah.
and then this death scene of him, this was probably the most recognizable death in the entire show over 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
And still people when I meet people when they're coming in the shop, when I meet them on the street, it's kind of like, hey, you need some Advil, or they offer like painkillers, or hey, you are supposed to be dead, or
Yep.
whatever.
It's
It's kind of interesting. And especially now, I mean, I live close to Sonoy. I live in the heart of the Walking Dead universe, so I see all these people like every day, and it's a lot of fun. I mean, I mess around with everyone, really with everyone. It's a lot of fun, and the interesting thing is, I mean, you know, Sharon, she works in my shop, and she say it's unbelievable. Missy from the Welcome Center. She said it's unbelievable. You can't. What the heck was that? 30 minutes.
Just countdown for us. Just they kind of ignore it.
Hey, it's kind of
Yeah.
it's kind of scary. I'm sitting in front of the screen and everything went blue, so that's kind of weird.
That's what it's going to be like. Library scene too.
Yeah. It will be kind of weird. I'll give you that.
I make all these bad jokes, and I don't care if somebody is on a blue or red or whatever, yellow, green, whatever. I don't care. I just love to make fun about it, because that's, I think, the only way to deal with it, to make fun of everybody. So don't get it wrong. But Missy and Sharon always said, Chris, you can say whatever you want to your customers, and you get away with it. So it's kind of funny. I mean, I always say I get paid to cuss my customers.
It took me years, and I was telling Oscar after the first time that we really hung out at the one camp, I was like, I think Chris likes me. I hope he does. I know if I don't respond to the text messages more, you're not going to like me anymore. I'm going to fix that.
You never respond, dumbass.
I'm working. It's all
As a matter of fact, I think that's everybody's number one problem about Dustin. He never gets back to anybody, so don't feel bad. The only time I ever get in touch with him, no joke, is through the Xbox, and that's just because he's playing that night.
You know, the worst part about it is he has a bad influence on Rachel, because she's not responding either.
Wow.
Well, see, that's my fault, because what we're doing here is being elected constable up here.
Yeah, I know.
And I don't have, they didn't get in my gear correctly. My outfit was wrong, and I'm fighting the people that do that. But I'm going to get it done. I promise. I'm working on it. Very diligent. Actually, I worked on it at the end of last week, to be truthful.
I'm just talking about the ID. The other one is not. So.
No, I got you. We good. But no. So then this is a funny story talking about Abraham's death. And I forget exactly who he was talking to that I knew. Somebody, here higher up, like all of us in the Walking Dead world. And he was talking about how after he got killed on the show, of course, they had to keep him around. Okay. And, they couldn't just let him leave, and they still brought him to set and things. And he had to keep his hair dye the same. He had to keep everything. So when he did go out in public, people were like, hey, he's, and I wondered if you'd heard anything about that, if you could shed light on it, being that you are who you are. Maybe you heard something, I don't know. But it was an impactful death by all means. And I think it was probably difficult for him, because that whole time had to pass where he knew that he wasn't no longer going to be there, but he had to still stay in character while they finished filming and everything. So yeah, so I agree with
No,
you.
it was kind of funny. I talked to Michael on one con, and I told him once, because sometimes, it's really awesome. He's such an awesome guy. So sometimes I write him an email or text message, and he repeats in 20 minutes.
Oh
Or
wow.
replies in 20 minutes. So he doesn't have to do that. I mean, I don't know if there's any other cosplayer who gets supported so much, or recognized so much by the real character, you know what I mean, or by the actor. I mean, he doesn't have to do it. He has his family, has other shows, and he's working on another show right now. He announced it like 2-3 months ago. They are doing a TV show based on the story of The Silence of the Lambs, and I think he's a cop in the show, so that will be pretty awesome.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so that's pretty awesome.
And he's
So-
directed a few episodes, I believe, right?
Yeah, he
Since-
directed a lot of episodes I think in season 10 of season
Yeah.
10, and he directed a bunch of episodes of I think the Beyond the World. What I heard, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Spinoff.
I need to look
Yeah.
into that.
By the way, I love this show. It's pretty good.
Cool.
Yeah, I do have to do better about watching it. Actually, Jimmy, I'm putting you on the spot here. We got a fan request. So I need you to go in there to the messages at the very bottom. My girl Victoria Barker, she asked one of the questions that I always like to ask guests. I'm going to get you to ask that question to Mr.
Okay. Who's your favorite character on the show? And you cannot say Abraham. That's what she's asking. Can't say Abraham this time, buddy.
I just want to check her photos, so let me see. No, just kidding.
I'm just happy she's even my friend on Facebook. She said,
that's
very sweet person.
that's a good question. I should be a politician. I want to stay neutral. No. Honestly, one of my favorite characters, because he has so many sides, he's unfortunately not on this show anymore, is Morgan. Jenny Lames. Lenny Lames, that's great. Lenny James. I saw him first before I saw The Walking Dead. He's on a TV show. It's called Jericho. I don't know if you guys saw this TV show.
Oh, that was a great show. Yeah.
Yeah, and he was one of the main characters in Jericho. And when what the heck are you doing? Oh, okay.
I'm giving you your Morgan props. When
He's
you
got
just-
Morgan props.
Got it.
I'm going to get you Morgan props from the show here while you're talking about your boy.
So Morgan is absolutely great. I couldn't stand him at the beginning, so when he came back, because he was this psycho guy kind of thing, and I worked next to my normal job as a bouncer for many years, and I hated this psycho guy.
Oh wow.
But his development on the show, and when you saw in yesterday, the episode yesterday of Fear, he's just incredible. His development on the show,
Jimmy doesn't know anything about that because Jimmy doesn't watch Fear the Walking Dead. Would you please have a talk with him when you're done? Go
I
ahead.
just punch him the next time when he's coming in the shop.
Thank you.
I'll be in there sometime this week. That's all good.
5 seasons caught up.
When I punch you.
It'll be all right. It's fine.
And when you and another guy who's pretty cool, and it's not one of the main characters like Daryl. When you see Gabriel, like Fast Gilliam, his development from this little coward at the beginning to this badass now. So and how he plays it, I just like. I was always more a fan of background actors or background. Not the background actors, but you know what I mean. Not
like secondary. Yeah, totally.
Kind of like your support.
It's the same. It's probably the same when you watch 2.5 Men. I love the show, but it was not because of what's his name?
Which one? The
Charlie
Sheen.
Sheen.
Charlie Sheen.
And the other guy, it was because of his brother.
Oh,
Yep.
Cryer.
Cryer.
Yeah.
John Cryer. He's just incredible with his mimic, his attitude. It's just fascinating, and I love this type of characters, like as you said, the secondaries.
Yep.
When they do something or play like that they are recognizable, and you keep them in mind. And of course, Kristen Serratos, she's just amazing.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
met her a few times, and always when I met her, she sometimes she stepped out of the booth and gave me a hug, and so it's kind of funny.
Very cool.
By the way, I never asked her for the library scene.
You're gonna have to work on that.
I'd rather have her than
I'll
Dustin. I'm
definitely-
just saying. I mean,
Jenny is not Eugene. I am officially Eugene in that moment, most definitely.
Yep.
So Jenny's got cut from that. If you get to reenact it with her,
It scares
Well,
me.
I don't get to watch. You get to watch. What's up with that? What's up with that?
It's not the claimed episode. I'm claiming it. It's claimed.
Claim it.
Well, I'll let you have it. I'll let you have it.
And to kind of second what you were saying there, Chris, that's one thing I love about The Walking Dead is you'll have these actors that come out and they're what, and I don't mean anything disrespectful when I say a secondary. It's not because they're a secondary. It's because they just haven't got their feature yet.
Sure,
And that's what I love about The Walking Dead is they will take an actor and they'll put him in the show like they did, Gabriel, Seth Gilliam, and you'll see him a little bit. And then it's almost like as the show goes on, that person grows, their role evolves. And I mean, Carol, for God's sake, went from who she was to who she is now. And but that's what I love about The Walking Dead because they encapsulate you as a fan to really grow with that actor and you become attached to them. And so I completely agree with you on that.
Yep.
The thing is, it was so funny for me to watch it when they killed some characters off, how many people freaked out. I really, and that's why I like a show because it develops, it changes. Changing means and development means get rid of some characters, kill off some characters, and introduce some new characters. So
yeah.
I will remember this scene when they took away Rick with a helicopter, and they had this time jump, the 6 years with Judith, and they introduced this entire new group. I still remember the post I made on Facebook when I wrote, "Hey, congratulations AMC, you paved the way for a brand new storyline."
Mm-hmm.
So they just did a great job. I just love it. A lot of people hate it because they are too much attached to the character. Like you always say, Americans are too emotional.
If you missed last week's episode, Jimmy can tell you a good story about how I'm way too attached emotionally to the characters.
Well, but Baker. All right, last time I kind of went over this last week, but last time Baker come down and stayed with me was when they announced Rick was supposed to leave the show. And
not with me.
I mean, y'all can sleep together. It's cool. No, whatever you want to do. He sleeps on my couch. Just saying.
Jimmy's face, how red he's getting right now.
Yeah, it's all good.
You don't have to text, but
yeah, it's all good. But anyway, I think you have Hennessy that night, or would you have Fireball? I can't even remember.
We bought a real nice bottle of Hennessy for a dear friend of ours as a gift. And I walk in, and most people, if you haven't saw your friends, Chris, in a while, you get to Georgia, you drive the 4.5 hours, you get out, you want to give them a hug and talk to them. Hey man, I missed you. I talk to you every day. I miss you. And Jimmy's like, hey, guess what? Rick Grimes ain't on the show no more. And I'm like, what is this? And so I'm like dropping my bags out in the road. I'm looking on my phone. I'm like, you're lying to me, man. Because Jimmy do stuff like it to you.
Oh,
okay,
yeah,
Jimmy will tell you stuff just to mess with you. Casey knows this.
Oh, I believe that.
I'll fuck with you hard. No joke. I really will.
There, I'm like, this ain't true. And I Google it. And before, you know how like Google completes your sentences for you? Before I even get it, Rick Grimes leaving, it comes up. And I'm like, oh, shit. So that particular night, me and Hennessy got really attached.
Yeah, I ended up taking care of Dustin, wiping the drool off of him and everything else. It's pretty bad.
Geez.
Do you think they went too far with killing too many characters off, Chris?
Absolutely not.
Not?
No, I mean, compare it to Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
They had the main character And they just, I mean, in the first few episodes of season 1, they just killed the dad of the 3 guys, and didn't even think about it that they could like make some of the fans upset. They just kill him off, or when they killed Joffrey or the other, they just killed him. And I just love this development on the show. I mean, it's it, and don't get me wrong, and I know I will get my shitstorm about it. It's a TV show. It's a fictional story which is attached to all of our lives in some way. I mean, this show changed my life entirely. I mean, I deal with you guys now, see? So, and I love development. I love a long story, clever written, where you see new people coming in and other people unfortunately die. I mean, that happens every day in life. Some of the celebrities are going, some normal people are going. So that's normal life. You just have to deal with it. The thing is how you deal with this. Do you love just a character, or do you love a show? Right. When you love the show, it makes you upset when a character is dying. But new characters are coming in, and oh, my roommate is just coming. Characters are coming in, and it's just a way of life, and I like it how they did it.
Well, my whole thing is the storyline's about Rick. Not following Rick anymore. Is it still the same storyline?
Honestly, exactly. And when Rick left, and so many people were upset, I just said, "Hey guys, it's The Walking Dead, not The Walking Rick."
Yeah.
So
yeah, I get it.
And they did it pretty smart. I mean, he's still alive. Sorry for the spoiler for the people who didn't know it, but he's still alive, and he will probably show up in the world beyond.
Thank you. Thank you.
Will probably show up in another thing. I mean, when you hear the new show, or when you hear Fear the Walking Dead, when they are talking, we have to leave and we have to go this way and we have to go up. I think they mentioned yesterday Virginia. So I always had this when they started with all these spin-offs. I wouldn't be surprised when they don't start when they are starting another spin-off, when there will be a big conclusion with all the 3 shows. Somewhere in Alexandria, somewhere around Alexandria, in Virginia, whatever. Nobody knows how the story ends. It will end one day, but let's see how it ends and how the conclusion will be. It will be pretty interesting.
I totally agree. Yeah.
Yeah,
I can agree.
That's what Baker was saying a week or 2 ago. Just all 3 shows could converge at some point.
And I mean, just imagine the story writers, how they do it. You always find a glue in one of the shows, which is telling us something. TH always. Which is telling us something about the other show. Like when you see the A and B and the numbers and all this kind, it's brilliant written. That's my opinion. Like when you have 3 different stories, just see it that way. This Walking Dead universe, it's similar to the Marvel universe. You have different heroes who live in the same world, and they tell different stories of different characters. It's nothing different.
Right.
That's true.
Okay. On that note, what do you
probably different? So.
What did you think the A on everything meant? What was your whole thing behind that? Because I always like to ask
that. Asshole. No, I don't.
Abraham.
Abraham.
When you said Abraham, do you remember the scene with this Asian guy in Fear? When he talked about the cigar and he kept the cigar for the guy with a mustache or handlebar or something.
Yeah.
You haven't watched it, Jimmy, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I've watched it from. I watched season 1 and I watched episode 1 of season 2 right now. That's where I'm at. No joke.
I mean the.
I'm trying. Baker's giving me hell about it.
Season 2 is the boat season, right?
I mean, the thing is, I don't have so much time to watch TV, so I record it and I watch it when I have time.
Well, I use different websites, but I mean, Yeah, I try.
It's super interesting. I mean, when people ask me something in the shop about The Walking Dead and I can't answer, this is when you go to a doctor and I don't know how to use a needle. So it's kind of
Yeah.
right.
Expected.
So that's I mean, I like the show, so I really enjoy it. I was never a big fan of talk shows, so I barely watch Talking Dead.
Mm-hmm.
When I have time, sometimes I just watch it. But I love to watch all the 3 shows. I mean, I have a TV in my shop and I run The Walking Dead like every day. So I watch it every day. I can't see it anymore. So, but it's super interesting. And when you watch it, like sometimes you always see a few new clues, or you see something what you haven't seen before because you did whatever. You had to zip off your coffee.
I have one more question for you. Season 1 and 2, when Frank Darabont actually was creating The Walking Dead, do you like his world better, or do you like Scott Gimple's world better? Because it is 2 different worlds.
I think I have to explain that a little bit more. Do we have a few minutes, or do we have to go to the advertisement now?
We have 4 minutes left.
Jesus Christ! You have to go to bed or what?
I mean, I don't keep up with the time. Our showrunner does. I just kind of roll with it. Yep.
Okay.
But it's you, so I'm sure the showrunner will not care to go over for you. We don't have.
I mean, you can put it up here, Kev. If you want to run over tonight, that's perfectly fine with me. I don't mind.
I mean, the most recognizable 2 walkers, which were created by, I mean, Kirkman and Darabont on the show, was the teddy bear walker, and the Morgan's wife. So if you saw, I mean, the walker was picking up the teddy bear, and Morgan's wife was walking through to the door, but she didn't really know what was going on. Kind of like this idea, or when they were in Woodbury and the doctor, he's running away, and when the doctor and when the doctor made this test with this older gentleman who was lying on the bench.
Oh, cool.
This is scary that you have a child doll in your house.
I wasn't going to say it, Chris, but I'm glad you said it. I'm just saying.
You know, I have no filter.
I'm over here looking like, what in the hell?
What is that? That's crazy.
But honestly, her grandma in real life is just amazing. She's one of the coolest grandmas I met in my life.
Oh, Addie's?
Yeah. She's just hilarious. Okay, that looked funny. Hey, you should bring it in the shop one day.
I can do that.
I think she's going to tap you on the shoulder.
That was my best flea. I didn't even know they made those things. It actually works off batteries.
Yeah, that's why I meant for photo ops. And I mean, we can sell you a little doll.
That you can cut it on. It will actually chase you around your house.
What?
I didn't even know they made them.
To answer, Dustin, Jimmy, to answer your question. So on the other hand, you have some. I think the Darabont idea could make all this stuff around The Walking Dead a little bit more interesting, because walkers would act different.
Yeah, they were smart. That's the thing. They pick up rocks, they bust windows and everything. They were smart.
Yeah, I mean, busting windows is probably not the smartest thing. This little like walking through the door, or the teddy bear, like Eddie picking up the teddy bear, that was extremely smart. Yeah. What I don't like is when they changed things on The Walking Dead and everybody was freaking out and was hating Scott Gimple. I told these people, I said, guys, do you really think that Scott Gimple is deciding everything by himself?
Right.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Really? It's like a politician is deciding everything by himself as well. So there's a team. There's a team. This team is discussing things, and they're going to decide of more. They have probably more solutions. Right. Or more ideas. I mean, what was kind of cool that they still killed Glenn, because I said, who needs a pizza delivery guy in an apocalypse? but right.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
sure
yeah.
it was partly AMC's calls because at the end of the day, they're paying the bills. So
I just said one day. I mean, just imagine what I heard was that Kirkman introduced The Walking Dead to HBO at the beginning, and they said no, that's too cruel and it's too gory and all
that's
this kind of stuff.
crazy.
And then a few months later, they came out. They came out with Game of Thrones, where they killed kids, where they killed babies, where they did like everything possibly imaginable.
Yeah,
Yep.
incest and everything on it. Yeah.
On the other hand side, AMC did a phenomenal job. So,
I think so.
don't get me wrong on this. Just imagine the budget of HBO on a show like The Walking Dead.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, yeah. That's true.
Right?
Yeah, no doubt.
Oh, did you see that? Casey is taking notes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He always does.
Yeah, I do too. Because I mean, man, you are full of like so much.
Yeah, you're full of info. This is cool.
It's like there's perspectives. Like if somebody would have, I think it would have been anybody else that said when we asked the question, you know, about killing off the actors. If anybody else would have said, yeah, I think that's the best thing or awesome, I'd have been like, but then he explains it, and I'm like, wow, I got to take notes now because that's
Right.
a new look at it. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
So,
I remember
can I
Dustin. Go
Can I
ahead. I'm
ask
sorry.
what the German is in German Abraham? Are you from there or born
Dustin?
there?
Dustin, is this question real?
again,
When you talk about the Canary Islands, I'm like, all right now, come
No,
on.
I was born and raised in Germany. Not a big fan of Germany, but
What part?
born and raised 100 miles northwest of Frankfurt.
Okay. The reason why I asked is because I'm a military brat, so I was actually born in Wiesbaden.
So Army.
Air Force.
Damn it.
I think Wiesbaden might have been an Army base.
Yeah, there is an Army base in Wiesbaden.
Yeah, I think you're right.
That's why I was asking. Yeah, I knew during my German Army time. I spent 4 years in the military in Germany, and I spent some time in Bragg and some time in Benning.
Nice.
So it was pretty cool. But you how long have you been in Wiesbaden?
Oh, I was only there. We were stationed there. My parents were stationed there. Babies like they left 6 months after I was born.
Okay, how old are you now?
43. So
okay, good.
Hey, Casey, can you go ahead?
Army from 89 to 93. So.
Okay,
cool.
awesome.
One of the idiots who jumped out of planes.
Hey, Casey, can you shout out our sponsors real quick?
Yeah, so we got Water Tower Tours is a big sponsor. Thank y'all. Cindy and Steven did a big tour with them after the Dead Camp weekend. We also have Walking Dead Tours in Harrison, Georgia. That's Rick's barn, where Rick and the governor met, and where Merle died. And we got a new one, Auto Wraps Plus. They're a new one, so we'll be putting that information on the website.
They carry our stickers.
Does it mean they would wrap my car for free?
I don't know about that.
to request that. I think if they were going to do anybody's, especially this
Right.
week, it's definitely going to be you.
I just call them now greedy bastards. No, I'm just kidding.
No. He's actually a very cool guy. He hooked us up with stickers and everything. If anybody wants one, you see me around Sonoy, I carry them with me. I'll give you some, Chris, if you want one.
I know I've got
I
mine.
want a wrap car, not a sticker.
It's about the podcast, the Dead Tree podcast. Yeah, it's all good. Also, you go to GameStop. They got little Dustin figurines now.
What the heck is that?
It's a Dustin action figure.
That's a true story.
Isn't it supposed to be black? I mean the uniform, not his face. Don't get me wrong.
Well, I mean, it could be black. Call him Tyrone instead.
They had to give me some color. There was too much gray and black in the beard, so they gave me a little bit of color. Let's see.
Yeah,
gave me color. I do have a little action figure. It's kind of cute. So Jimmy had to go nice buy those for me.
Ooh, that's
I have like I I have like 12 in my living room right now, and I've decided to bring one upstairs and play with it tonight.
Guys. So you just told me a few minutes before that you stayed at his house, Dustin, and now he has 12 action figures around him.
That's my little girl doll. Doesn't sound
Yeah.
back.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. I got little seances and shit with them.
Oh Lord.
I'm building a Dustin army. It's okay though. It's okay. They're gonna take out all the pizza and shit. That's all.
You know you guys are weird, right?
Do what?
I said you guys are weird. You know that, right?
We gotta be, man. We gotta be. We hang out with each other, so we gotta be weird.
Okay.
Thanks for the
By the
know.
way, Jimmy, when you want to swing by, I'm off tomorrow and Wednesday, so I'm back on Thursday.
I'll probably be up Sonoya way, probably around between Friday and Sunday. So I'll probably hook up with you probably Saturday.
Yeah, I get that. You are so far away.
I live in Noonan. I live right here where you live.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. I live right in downtown Noonan. Like no joke.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah, I'm right up the street from RPMs.
You can go over and play with the. Actually, you can go pick up one of the Dustin action figures.
By the way,
If you want one, I'll give one to you. I don't mind.
yeah, I put one in my shop. I just hang it on the tree.
There you go.
Probably,
It was right next to RPM.
Right down the street from RPM. I literally live about 2 minutes from it.
Okay, they have incredible homemade chips with a
Man, I love RPM. The biggest thing I love there is probably the Reuben, man, and with the chips.
Okay.
And the Reubens takes up half of your plate, like no joke, just for a half a sandwich.
I mean, just to talk about quality of RPM, my best friend from school, from boarding school in Germany, just in case you see it, I think he doesn't see this, but he lived in LA for 16 years, and he was at my house like 2 months ago, and he went back to Germany because he said, I'm done with California, but he's coming back to Atlanta, and he's an actor as well. He did some
Okay.
Yeah, and we went to RPM. He got a burger, and he said, that's probably one of the best burgers since I live in the States.
Wow.
Yeah, RPM, no joke. I love RPM. I go there at least once a month at least. And I go hang out on the deck and just kind of chill out with some of my friends. It's a nice place to go. Just kind of have some adult times.
Just let me know next time. Then I Uber
Check that out.
some beers.
Oh hell yeah, man! We'll go out there and hang out for real. I don't drink, but I can be a designated driver home or something. I can make you tuck and roll.
Yeah, that makes sense. That sounds good.
Yeah. It's all good, man. That's what I do up there anyway. I might more or less be a designated driver to everybody usually.
You need to be useful sometimes. So.
Well, I try to be. I try to be useful. All right, guys. We're going to go and wrap the show up.
We need to mention we're on YouTube as well there, Jimmy.
Go ahead. Yes, sir. I forgot.
No, go ahead. I'm
okay. I was going to let you roll with it, but also, if you want to go over to YouTube, Dead True Podcast, make sure you ring the bell. That way you can get some traffic over there and get that growing too. You can also share it with your friends through Facebook and YouTube as well. Until next time, guys, thank you, Chris, so much for being on the show tonight. Anybody who wants to go on Sonoya, check out Chris. Make sure you buy some of his art and kind of, see him. He is a treasure within himself.
Absolutely.
Y'all have a great night. Go ahead, Mr. Baker. Got anything to say?
I don't. Guys, thank you for joining us as always. And thank you for all of you. We have sent pretty much everybody friend invites to our podcast page. If you haven't liked, shared, or accepted the invite, please go do that for us. It means a lot. And Chris, thank you.
Thanks for having me. And I will join Facebook now and check out Victoria Baker.
There you go, man. Gotta do what you gotta do.
I'm
Thanks,
good.
Chris.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, anytime. You got anything to throw into it, Casey, before I cut us out?
No, it's good hanging out with you guys. Good to hang out with Chris. I did get to meet him at the Dead Camp, so it's a pleasure.
And
Look forward to seeing you shop.
one last thing, Dustin, check your fucking text messages.
Text message, Dustin. All right, have a good night, everybody. Love you. See you.
Bye.
All right.
was a good show, y'all.
That was fun.
That was a damn good show.
Oh, yeah. It was. All right.